Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome to another live stream. I've just made a video in German yesterday, and today I'm going back to one of my more, let's say, regular videos and switching back to English for this video. Sorry for my German viewers who are sometimes a bit struggling with the English content, but I've got a nice topic today that might be interesting to more than just the 20 or 30 German viewers who are deep enough into the hobby to be concerned with these issues. So let's talk about the cause. Let's talk about the general topic. So the general topic is about how you can, like something that I've been doing to my Redding Type S bushing dies, particularly in my case the full-length sizing bushing dies, to improve my neck runout. So I've got these Type S full-length dies in three calibers. I've got them in 223, in 6.5 Creedmoor, and you guessed it, in 308 Winchester. And I've gotten amazing results in 6.5 Creedmoor. Amazing results in 6.5 Creedmoor. I haven't done anything to the dies except for dropping in the bushing and dialing in the die, and the results were amazing. I've been getting great runout. Let's say great runout is something around 1 or 2 thousandths of runout, maybe a bit more, but definitely like consistently below 3 thousandths. If I have an occasional case that is giving me 3 thousandths of runout, there might be something wrong with the case or something. Maybe it's something I can't fix. But what the dies in 223 and 6.5 Creedmoor were giving me was something around, like, let's say sub 2 thousandths of runout. And what my Winchester die was giving me, despite, like, I've got a long story with my Winchester die here. You see, there's quite a lot of bushings because I've been having issues with that. There's a couple of other dies in here. These are just my, let's say, pet sizing dies for 308. So yeah, this one's just a full length. No, this one's, oh, never mind. Disregard that one. This one is the one that I'm actually talking about. So it's the FLS die, and you can probably not hear it. So what's been happening is this die was giving me bad runout, like objectively bad runout. I've been getting, let's say most of the cases were around 3 thousandths of runout. I've been getting consistently every fifth or sixth case was 5 thousandths of runout or more, and I was like basically never getting really low runouts of 2 thousandths and less, or like 1 thousandths. So I've been using the same method, annealing, like I don't know if I mentioned, probably have to mention it. I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do. I'm annealing every time. I'm using Lapua brass. I've tried this with various brass from various batches, like various batches of Lapua brass. I've been trying it with Federal brass, with RWS. RWS is a German brand, so RWS brass has also got a good reputation. And the issue has always been the same. The runout wasn't good. And I've tried various bushings. I have kind of done some very simple honing work of the die. So what I've done is taken this part off, taken the bushing out, and then taking a little brush and wrapped a piece of cloth around it and honed out the die to make it smoother on the inside, to make sure that the case slides in, doesn't cant or anything due to friction or anything. It's all nice things you can do to kind of improve your dice a little bit. So these are all the things that I've done, and the results remain the same. I've been getting mediocre, or let's say bad runout. Okay, so what did I do to fix this? First of all, I simply went to a full-length sizing die, and maybe one of the best ones you can get. This is a Triebel. This is a German brand. This is a Triebel resizing die, and it is amazing. I've been getting amazing results with this die, but it's not 100% what I want, because I don't just want the bushing dies for the ability to precisely set the neck tension. I mean, I'm going to run the mandrel through it anyways afterwards, so that's not the most important part, but I want to be able to, on the one hand, precisely control the shoulder setback, like the bump, and still not entirely size the neck. So I want to leave like a piece, like, let's say maybe this much of the neck, like a fourth maybe of the neck, unsized. It's kind of what I've been looking for. So I've been spending a lot of time thinking about how these dies actually work. So how do they work? You've got the die here, and that's basically a body die, because it just sizes the body, and then it has a little you can drop in these bushings. And how do these bushings work? So these bushings, you drop them in here, and well, you're gonna run a case in here. Well, probably shouldn't mess around with that. I don't want to get stuck in there, but the case kind of basically the case neck goes into this area where the bushing sits, and if you hold down the bushing, you're going to size the bushing as well. If you don't hold down the bushing, it's only going to size the body. But what holds down the bushing? This is what's been driving me crazy. And what actually holds down the bushing is, okay, just to give you an impression of how paranoid I was, here's my second Redding full-length Type S sizing die, because I got a second one to make sure it's not just my particular die, and kind of worked with both of them to compare them. And what's actually holding down the bushing is this little ring here. See, you've got this little ring here on this, let's say, usually, like it usually comes with, you can put an expander on this rod here. You can put an expander on here. I obviously removed the expander because kind of people don't like expanders, so I also don't like expanders. And it's also holding this little ring here that is supposed to hold down the bushing. You can also remove this whole part here. So the different things that I tried was remove this whole part here and let kind of use just this little screw here. Just screw it in. It goes just far enough, and then back it off like a bit, and then you have it locked down. But then I realized, look at the surface here. Is this is this a surface I want to trust? How good and how smooth is this surface? How even is this surface? And how can I square up this surface here? Like to a point where I get a run out. Because what happens is when you run the case in there, the case is gonna, like this bushing is gonna sit on the mouth of the case. It's gonna sit on the mouth of the case, and it's like okay, these ones have been sized, and it's just gonna push them up. And what happens now is at some point something is gonna give, it's gonna push back this bushing and push it over the neck, and whatever this bushing is pushing against has got to be as square and flat and smooth as possible. And let me try and look at my other die that I've been working on. So this whole assembly here is basically stock from the new set that I got, and this assembly here is something that I've been tinkering with. So the first thing that I did is I tried to smoothen up this surface here and get it as flat as possible. You can see a difference here. This is out of the box, and this is what I did, and I put some marker on it to see if I get uneven impressions on the marker surface here. Didn't really give me the best results. So this didn't give me the improvement that I wanted. So I thought, well, they actually use like all the other dies that I use that give me good results. They all have this this little rod screwed in, and they have this little thingy in here because this is what Redding designed to push down the bushings. So usually the bushing goes through here, rests against this this screw here, and this screw will then push the bushing onto the neck. So what's the surface of this bushing like? What's the surface of this screw like? We just remove it and we'll have a look at it, and you're gonna see like, let's just say one side is not 100% nice, the other side is a bit nicer. So if you don't want to mess with it, just make sure that the smoother side is facing down. But what I did and what really helped me improve my runout in the end was I went further and actually sanded down or grinded down these the surface on here. See, so this is the surface that you get, like this is the good surface you get from Redding, and this is the surface that I've made myself. And it's actually very easy to make it yourself, because what I wanted to have a surface that is square to this thread here. So you just need 2 of these. That's a bit of a drawback. You just need 2 of these, and you take one of you take the one that you want to fix or that you want to hone, and you take the spare one, screw it on, take the one that you want to work on, and then you lock them against each other. You just torque them against each other, and now they're nice and tight. So now the bottom one is going to be all nice and square against these threads down here. And what I did, I just fixed this one into a drill press, my beloved little drill press. I think a drill press is something that a lot of people might have at home. You can probably do it with a lathe, but I don't have a lathe, and I think having a drill press is much more common than having a lathe. So make sure you have a nice, like, well balanced out drill press, and just screw it into your drill press. And then what I did is I have a nice little table, a working table on the bottom below the drill press, and I put a metal file down there. Let me just show you a flat metal file. And then I turned on the drill press, and it was turning this thing really, really fast. And I went down on the metal file and just did some coarse work on it. So basically, you take the unnice, like, the good thing is you're not even ruining anything, because you can just use the one side of that screw that isn't nice. Like, there's one nicer side and one not so nice side, and you just take the side that is not so nice. Then you use a metal file, and you basically do some coarse work to just kind of get an overall square surface, a flat square surface. Just take off some material, add some oil, of course, like some I don't know. I just use some gun oil, just something to cool it and to make sure that it doesn't overheat. Just make sure this is all squared up, and then do some coarse work on it, remove the oil a little bit, rub it off, and then use some very fine sandpaper, put it on a flat surface again, and then just twist it at nice speed, and then run it into the sandpaper a couple of times, and then you have a nice surface finish like this, and I'm really happy with it. Just make sure you thoroughly clean it. You just want to remove all of the sandpaper particles. You can just unscrew this again. You just have to loosen these two screws here. Like if you have any other type S, if you have any other type S sizing die, you can use the screw from there. I think the 223 has a smaller one, but I'm not really sure. Most should work. I think I've initially been using the one from my 6.5 Creedmoor, and yeah. So this is from my standard one. I'm just gonna put this aside, just so you know. And then what I learned is the kind of the best way to go is, of course, you take the shiny side down, because it's supposed to be facing against the bushing. Okay, Nice, yeah. See, because what I really like about this is you've got one flat surface that extends all the way to the edge. Because what I felt like is this screw is barely large enough to go all the way, like to cover the whole bushing. And the way these things here looked, they were getting gradually worse towards the edges, and I really wasn't happy with the finish on them. So this one is now giving you a very like in my case, it's now giving you a very smooth surface all the way to the edge. Obviously, that's also what you should be working for if you want to see if this is something you want to improve. So what gave me the best results is screw it all the way down. Like what I tried is, let me just put this one back in. So what I tried is, I tried screwing it all the way up to kind of lock it against this surface here. Didn't work as well. Then I tried, and then I put a little rubber O-ring between them and kind of put some pressure on it with the rubber O-ring here, like halfway, and also not so great results. Best results I got was just screw it all the way down. You can screw it against this little decapping pin holder here, and then use the decapping pin holder and screw it tightly into this the big screw. Okay, so now you have a very nice flat surface here that is well squared up against this inside thread here. And now you want to drop the bushing in, and there's of course a little bit of religion about which way you drop the bushing in. And of course I had to decide for one way of doing, and I love to drop the bushing with the lettering down, because the lettering is engraved, and it might give oh so small inconsistencies on the surface here, and this surface here, this surface versus this surface is, from my perspective, from my understanding of it currently, what gives you the good a good neck run out. So just make sure that you have a nice surface here, nice clean surface here, no writing on it, that runs against a nice clean surface here. See, and you can't really hear it or feel it, but it's just a very, very smooth rubbing against each other here. And this is how I've managed to improve the runout with my Redding Type S die. So I'm just going to drop it in, show you one little other trick, and that's what I really love to do, and it's been going great for me so far, is putting another little O-ring, a rubber O-ring around this screw here, because what this allows you is, let me just find the threads here. You can just track it all the way down until you hit the bushing, and you tighten this one down, and then you can easily back this one off without having to retighten this here. You can just back it off against the rubber O-ring, and you can see bushing is moving in there, and you can just set how far down you want to size these cases. So with this setup, I've just resized a couple of cases here, and we can just have a look at a couple of them. Let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. Okay, let's see, how does this go? Okay, 1 below 2. Just keep in mind, this is a half a thousandths scale. So between 10 and 15, of course, is 5 thousandths. So each short line is half a thousandth, and each long line is 1 thousandth. So let's try 1. Oh, this is a bad one. So this one is 1, 2, 3. That's right around 3. This one is 1 less than 2. This one is also less than 2. I'm not sure if I've been... Yeah, right around 2. I think I've already expanded these. I think I've already expanded these. So they had a bit better run out before expanding, because of course expanding will also like take all the inconsistencies in neck thickness to the outside. So yeah, that's that. So you're not gonna have these like super low. Oh, this one's a really nice one. This is, let's say, just barely above one, like 1.5 maybe. This one's also very nice. So these are some really good results. These are just random ones I'm grabbing out of here, and I have yet to see one that's like 5. And these 5,000s of run out were the ones that, oh, see, I should have been picking them better beforehand and show you these. But I just want to be really honest what I'm getting and what I'm happy with, and I'm happy to settle with this run out here out of the Type S die. It's a huge improvement versus what I've been getting before. So this is basically like the bad run out I'm getting now, which is around 3,000s, and I'm not getting the 5,000s of run out anymore. And this is a big step forward for me. Okay, well, hopefully. If you've been struggling with Type S dies, and I know at least one popular YouTube channel has been struggling with the Type S dies and has permanently switched to using full-length dies as an alternative to Type S dies, like full-length dies with the expander mandrel. This is another method that I've obviously tried and that has worked well for me. But I really like to have the option to not size the neck entirely, and I like to have less of a forceful operation when expanding the necks. So expanding, if you full size with a proper full length die, and then you expand with a Sinclair mandrel. There's quite a bit of force involved, and all this is something. If I do it on my Dillon 550 on the semi-progressive over there, having one station that requires that much force always tends to have a higher risk of offsetting the other stations, especially the seating if you're doing the same press. So running the mandrel through these bushing size necks, where you just basically touch up the inside of the necks, is much better compatible with the way I load on my 550. And I'm really happy having gotten the run out back under control here, because this has been a big issue. Yeah, so I'm just looking, like, since I'm basically done with the content of this video, I'm looking at the chat now. I'm really glad about all the comments I'm getting in chat. It's just fun throwing on the camera and there's actually people watching this live and leaving comments. So I'm always happy to read these. Very motivational, very motivating for me. So I am seeing someone asking for a Type S die by Triebel, and yeah, this is something I've also been thinking about, especially because I've had my ups and downs with Reading. You see, I've had tons of bushings for my 308, and somehow all the 308, like all the bushings in the 308 area, like 336, 334, 338, all these bushings have given me a too small diameter compared to the 6.5 and 223 bushings, which were all spot on. I have consistently been getting around 2,000 smaller necks than advertised on the bushings, with just only the bushings in the 308 area. And I've tried the steel bushings. I've tried the nitrided bushing, like these nitrided hardened bushings. All the same, very frustrating. Contacted Reading about it. They told me send it in. Well, gonna send in, I don't know, $60 worth of bushings across the pond to the US. They're probably telling me there's something wrong with the way you measure, or it all works fine for us, then having to pay shipment back. Kind of, yeah, I'm not sure about how I proceed with this. Might even send it in. But you see, living in Europe with all the customs and shipping and all that involved, getting dies that you're not 100% happy with and having to deal with customer service. It's great to have companies with great customer service if you live in the same country. So having good treble bushing style dies for full length sizing would be something for me to consider, even though they have this absolutely ridiculous pricing for their dies. This is definitely something I'd consider, especially since it's a very precise game with these bushings, and I really don't want to make any compromise there. But so far, like looking, they do have a bushing die, but it's a neck only bushing die without any body sizing. And the way this one is set up is just, it's blowing my mind how you can make something so complex and so difficult to set up. And if there's one thing I don't want in my reloading setup, it's complexity. Because complexity, and I think I might be returning me, complexity ruins repeatability, or complexity ruins consistency. If something's complex, there's more things to screw up. It's harder to get things consistent. The less complex things are, like these type S bushing dies are just a perfect example of how simple you can make things. They work fine. Everyone's using them. Everyone's having great results, and there's very little headspace to make things better. So I don't think there's much room for improvement there. Yet they are quite simple to use once you've gotten a hold of them. So yeah, this is something about Treble. I think Treble is a great company. They make great products. Their quality is astonishing. Their prices are breathtaking. But their understanding of where the let's say the top reloaders, I'm not counting me in as a top reloader. I'm more an observer of the top reloaders. And by top reloaders, I mean the top shooters reloading, like the top reloading shooters. Not the people that reload the best, but the people that shoot the best with their reloads. I think Treble is missing quite a bit where those people are actually going, which is full-length bushing dies, and finally giving us a damn seeding die with thousandths of an inch increments, because their seeding die currently has. You ready for a little rant? Let's do this. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So this is the 308. Okay, this is probably the only die set that is affordable by Treble. And this is their competition seeding die. You see, it's got a nice sleeve, and that sleeve is so damn smooth. It's probably YouTube's gonna censor my video if I go into more detail how damn smooth that sleeve is. Neither Forster nor Redding does get anywhere close to how tight the tolerance is and how smooth that sleeve is. But this is what they offer as a micrometer. It's basically, I see. Okay, this is. Okay, so here's the seeding stem. It's not floating. That's something that's kind of like the way it's done with the Redding, where it's floating a little bit. But this is more like the Forster, which is also fixed. So I guess there's generally nothing wrong with it. And they offer a ton. This is something I love about Treble. They offer dozens of different specialized seeding stems for all kinds of different bullets. So you look up your bullet, they're going to tell you which stem is right for it, and you can just order a new stem. But the problem is, they're nice, their amazing setup is, that's the scale you get. That's the scale. Because they refuse to do the right thing and submit to the imperial, or let's say inch measurement. They still hold on to centimeters or millimeters in that case. So this scale here is, I think it's 1/10 of a millimeter. And a 1/10 of a millimeter is, I don't want to mess up here. So a 1/10 of a millimeter is 4 thousandths. So each of these marks here is 4 thousandths which is very bad for doing fine-tune adjustments. So it's like, most of these dies are going to give you 50 or 25 markings for one revolution. And one revolution here is actually 40. So one revolution here is 40 thousandths. And with one revolution, 40 thousandths, Reading gives us one revolution, 50 thousandths with an increment for each thousandth. Forster gives us one revolution, 25 thousandths with an increment per thousandth. And Triebel gives us one revolution, 40 thousandths, one increment per like 10 increments. Not great. Why? I don't want to have to, like, this is an inch game, like a thousandths game. Why take millimeters into this game? Why bring it into this game? Why make me convert? Same with their bushings. Their bushings are measured in millimeters. But these calibers are always measured in inch. So I have to take my caliber, I have to add some more inches, and then I have to convert it to millimeters to get my bushing, and then I just hate it. I don't like this about Triebel. Please, Triebel, reconsider this. Let's just not let vanity get into the play here. I'm all about SI units and all about the metric system, and I love the metric system. Of course, I'm German. I'm supposed to preach about the metric system to everyone who doesn't want to hear it. But in this particular case, I'm just pragmatic. I'm saying, don't make things more complicated. Don't introduce potential for error. Just do the best. Do it the best way, and don't do it the right way. Yeah. Okay. Don't try to change the world where it doesn't need changing. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit of rant for the people who stayed in on this video for till the very end. This could have been a short video. I hope the first 15 minutes were interesting to most of the people who clicked on the video for the actual content, and the last 15 minutes were interesting for the people who wanted to hear me rant about other random stuff. So I just have to say thanks very much for tuning in. I hope there's something helpful in this video for one of you guys. And please, if you have any success with this, or if you have any additional issues or new issues or other issues, please share them with me. Maybe it's something that I've overlooked so far, or maybe it's something that I've also experienced so far. Maybe we can find a solution together. Because I think what I like most about this hobby is like fixing these little issues, like finding solutions. And I guess one day, if all my rifles shoot straight, I'll probably just retire. I'm just kidding, of course. I'm still going to be shooting. Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been great seeing people on the chat and participating. And yeah, take care.